Okay, so we just finished davening. And after davening, someone came over and said, "You said Tachnon?" I said Tachnon. Hi, shlomo kalbas your side, and it's shach's your side. So I said, Avad, 100%. But I said, I know what you're thinking. They say that, and they say it's in Yiddish, sounds very geschmack, they say that a non-Jew doesn't understand the pleasure of not saying Tachnon. You know, there's an announcement, no Tachnon, the pleasure of not saying Tachnon. But the Aniyus Daiti, after Baruch Hashem, I started saying Tachnon with understanding a little bit of what I'm saying. I say, a Jew doesn't understand the oineg of saying Tachnon. Anyway, with that in mind, today is Taka the Yurtz of Shlomo Karbach and of Shach Zichron Lam Livrocha. And last year I spoke about both, and someone even had a taina, why am I speaking about, how can I be mashve, the two? So my derech is to learn from every Jew. And in Shemaim, like the Gemara in Bava Basra, no one knows. Elyonim Tachtoinim, what we do know is that these were two people that influenced Jewry in an incredible way. But I think there's an incredible lesson to learn from both. And the lesson itself is that we really don't know a person. And I'll explain to you what I mean. Avad that we could speak about Shlomo Karpel's incredible music and how he was zeiche, that as opposed to many songs that have a shelf life of two weeks or 2 months in today's world, Shlomo Karpel's Nigunim obviously were hit in such an oimik place, such a deep place that they're sang all the time. And now it's by accepted everyone. You have Chassidim, Litoim, Mizrach, everyone accepts his music. Obviously, that was an incredible gift. And then you have Rav Shach Zichron Vacha, the Rosh Yeshiva of Panovich, the incredible Mesilas Nefesh. On his Matzeva, it says that he asks that anyone on his yard side should learn a bissel of Musar. I forget the exact lashon, a little bit more of learning, and he'll be Melitz Yesher on him if he does it today. So I've had we could speak about both of these incredible personalities. But I want to tell you what's amazing is that we really don't understand. We really don't understand. And I'll give you an example of Shlomo Karlbach. So if you look, there's a sefer called Sipurei Neshama by a Talmud of Shlomo Zevin. He writes about Reb Shlomo's just memoirs that Shlomo himself said. It's written in Lashon HaKodesh, but it's incredible to see Reb Shlomo write how he grew up ala Torah. His father was a Rav. When they were in Vienna, it's interesting. The first one of his main rebbes was from Panovich, a bacher from Panovich that was learning in Panovich. But he writes how much his father, because there was a complication in the birth of him and his brother, the twin, that his father said, "That's it, I'm going to dedicate my sons to Kodesh, al Taras HaKodesh." And then you go and you see Shlomo when he came eventually to America. His first rebbe was Rav Shlomo Hyman, when he describes the Avos HaTorah that he had in the most incredible way. And Shlomo himself writes, it's too long to speak now about it, but it's kedai to read. He says, and many times he would catch himself and he would say, did I really do the right thing leaving yeshiva? He says, I'll only find up in Shemaim. And the reason the chizuk that he would get, he would say, the reason why he would say is because the oineg, he would say, when I was in San Francisco, and a guy would come and tell me, LSD, Rabbi, you don't know what an incredible LSD. I would say, whoa, you have no idea what it means to learn a Gemara with Rashi and Tosfos. That's what he would tell people. But he would say, I would get to Chalisha Sadas, and then I would go to the street, and someone would tell me, Rabbi, if you didn't come to me, I never would come to you. So that would give him chizuk. Rav Shach, Zichron Livrocha, everyone knows his Mesilas Nefesh. When they describe the way he would go up to the podium in the Panovich yeshiva, he was mamish frail and old, and looked like there's not shaykh to say a word. He was maybe 100 years old. And then he would start teaching, and he would see what it means, that Torah is mamish, it transforms a person. But is Avos Yisrael is also perhaps as big. And there's an incredible story that I said about once. I heard this from Rav Ginsburg. He was a mamish, he was Eid Reya. You saw it, where Rav Shach had an infection in his foot, and he was having an operation. And he said, I don't want to have any anesthesia because I won't be able to concentrate. So Rav Shach said, don't worry, give me a Rambam. I'll start learning the Rambam, and then you could start operating on my foot, mamish. And he did it, and nothing bothered him. It's something that we almost can't imagine today, the concentration that he had. But then, this Rabbi Ginsburg says that he was there. I don't know if it was the same time, but on another occasion, he was in the room, and they came and they told Rav Shach, you should know, they just said in the news that 5 soldiers, Israeli soldiers, in a helicopter were shot down and they were killed. Rav Shach sat down and cried, and he could not be menuchem. He couldn't stop crying. That was the Avos Yisrael. So today, if we want to take and we want to give a schus to these incredible, influential personalities, these neshamas that influence Klal. So Ahavas HaTorah, a person dedicates a little bit more to learning, to mamish focus on his learning, and number two, of course, to be oyev every Jew, no matter what he is.